I just need the day.
That was on a Sunday, right?
Yeah.
And everyone had to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had to go back to
Yeah.
Sunday scaries.
Yeah. I hate it. Unfortunately, there are no Sunday scaries when it comes to conspiracies, or maybe not even a conspiracy, if you know what I mean by that.
Oh, let's bring it on. What kind of conspiracy are we talking about?
Oh, well, we are going to be talking about UFOs and UFAs.
UAP.
Or UAP.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on another episode of the Leisure Hub podcast. I'm your host, Justin, and we got Benjamin back on the podcast. Or is this your first time? Who knows? I'll never know.
Thank you for having me. No, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So we love to talk about different things, right? We love to talk about girls. We love to talk about weddings. We love to talk about even Halo, Master Chief. Speaking of which, I was playing that last night with like this birthday party that I went to. My friend's husband was like, "Hey, you guys want to play some Halo?"
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys have a LAN party?
Yeah, we did. Well, we just played the Master Chief Collection. He had like 4 controllers.
Oh, beautiful.
I have never felt incapable of playing games before until I played that, because it was in an inverted, like I was playing with inverted controls.
Like
yeah, like
softball.
the look up and down. And I was like, dude, this is
wait a second.
I was like, I thought I used to be kind of good at Halo, but playing that, dude, playing the Halo Master Chief Collection, there are some sweats on there.
Yeah, there are.
I'm like,
no, yeah, people have too much time on their hands.
Dude,
stressful.
Yeah, I would spawn in, and then literally like I would get sniped from across the map. I'm like, where is going on?
Come from? That's unfair.
I was like, I just imagine you sitting in the room. You're playing as all of them. You're sniping me across the map. I'm like, get this man out of here.
I've seen you clean house before, mop the table.
Yeah, apparently it's not. I can't do it anymore. I don't know. Maybe it was just like the setting or like the controllers that I was playing with. But with the Halo Master Chief Collection, we were playing with It takes you into different like I guess eras of Halo. So sometimes it would give you Halo 1, sometimes it would give you like Halo 4 or whatever. So because the character models would be different, and it's like when did they add sprinting to Halo?
Halo 4.
Yeah. So like,
or actually it was Reach.
Yeah.
After Halo ODST. That was the first time.
Okay. Yeah, because like you could select sprinting. I'm like, I never knew there was sprinting in a Halo game. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, they're catering to different players, audiences, trying to make it like other games at the time.
Yeah.
So it was a product of its time.
Yeah.
But sprint doesn't belong in my Halo.
No, it's so unnatural to have a sprint button in it, and you're pressing X to sprint, which is the weirdest button to select for it. I don't know. I just thought that was weird.
I know. Yeah. There's always about the 3 pillars of Halos, like guns, grenades, and melee. Yeah. I think that's what it was. And then they added in a 4th one, and a lot of people got upset and divided.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. I mean, you're taking like a beloved game and you're kind of ruining the original functionality of the game. What speaking of that, what's your favorite I guess species from Halo?
Ooh, that's a tough one. You know what? Bring back the elites. Bring back playable elites. Looking at you, 343 or Halo Studios now.
Yeah,
they changed your name.
Yeah,
but they were definitely the elites, I would say.
What are the odds that those exist in our universe, though?
I'd be so ready to I would sign up right away. No, yeah. If they're out there somewhere and they're listening, just know we come in peace.
Just know that Ben wants you to abduct him. He's ready for it. Speaking of which, if you could be abducted right now and they could learn anything from you right now, and that was what they lumped humanity as a whole into, like they pinholed humanity as this specific thing, what would you want them to gain from that?
I'd want them to know humanity takes the porcupine approach.
So they're just like getting stabbed.
We're very pointy. No, that don't make us take our quills out.
Yeah.
Leave us be, and we'll leave you be, and everyone will be happy. And that's how we are.
But don't you want them to interact?
I want them to interact in a peaceful way and share and advance each other's societies. That's what I would hope for.
Sure. I mean, don't you think that it's been shown in movies and like different types of experiments over time, but don't you think that humanity is, not all of it, but there is a very self-proclaimed interest, like, oh, we come in peace, but we come in peace because we are expecting to gain information from your technology, and we want to use and abuse you, and if we need to take it by force, we will do that kind of thing.
So what if they detect innate bad intentions within humanity? It's like, okay, now we have an issue.
Yeah.
How do you guard against that with maybe perhaps a superior being than us, or as far as intelligence goes? It's you'd have to get on a common understanding of language, so to exchange ideas and let them know that, they're just like, I think with any group there will always be bad actors. They may run into that themselves, and you have to communicate that to them too, that our species is no different. Unfortunately we have scarcity on our planet. You guys are maybe in a post-scarce state and don't have to worry about resource allocation, but we do, and unfortunately that's the line between barbarism and being civil goes.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept, because you take the manipulation portion for like humanity, and like a superior being with in terms of intellectually and technologically, and it's like if anything, they would be able to tell if they were being manipulated by any means. And it's like, well, let's observe them to see if they change, or if they have good intentions, or if they don't. But I think with UAPs and UFOs and aliens, I think the whole, I guess, perspective of them now is seeing is believing, or at least in the documentation.
Yes, some give us some hard evidence of non-human intelligence landing on the White House's lawn, and have people film that and report on that. We would love to see that, but you're right. It's not been a well-developed field, if you want to look at it that way, through that lens. And so there's a lot to be learned about potential intelligences from elsewhere, craft, of other phenomena that have been observed over time.
Yeah. Why do you think now is the right time? Because it seems kind of odd. Like out of the blue, now the government kind of wants to start dripping the documentation out to civilians and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of strange.
Well, I think I have a loose answer with the timing of it all now. If you look at the term disclosure on Google Trends, it spiked in the past year or so.
Oh, sure.
It's a hot button word and topic for a lot of people, even bipartisan in the government. So what's happened, if you want to pinpoint modern UFO or UAP lore, if you want to call it that.
Sure.
And for those who don't know, UAP is unidentified anomalous phenomenon. And they had to come up with that term and rebrand it from UFOs, because what was being observed wasn't just flying in the sky. It was being observed through multiple mediums of travel, including the ocean and space. And so that's why they had to broaden that classification.
See, I don't I don't think I heard about anything happening in the ocean. Like I thought it was just all aerial based.
There's been observations of lights in the ocean across the world. Bermuda Triangle for one thing. If you want to look at the Caribbean,
True. Amelia Earhart, where are you?
it gets there's a lot of rabbit holes you can fall down, but they've been observed all over the world.
Yeah.
And to help answer the question, you could say the genesis of modern UAP lore maybe starts with Roswell, 1947 in New Mexico. Your classic flying saucer was discovered that crash landed. The government came in, scooped it up, and then they tried to cover it up.
Yeah.
It was said to be a weather balloon, and you see the famous picture of this officer kneeling down by shredded what is it, space blanket or whatever, aluminum. And then, so no one back then had an iPhone to record it.
Unless
someone had some secret tech we didn't know about.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, specifically, this is like a completely opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to like what we're talking about. But like COVID, for example, I was talking about this with one of my friends, and they had said that normally a vaccine takes what, like 10 years to fully develop, and then like implement.
Something crazy like that.
Something like that. Maybe it's not 10 years. Maybe that's too long, but it usually takes that amount of time. So with COVID during 2020, they were able to give a vaccine in a span of a couple of months.
It was a short time span.
Yeah.
R&D normally takes a long time.
Yeah.
It's a big investment to do it in that short of a time frame.
Yeah. So it's either they knew about this specific strain or disease, or not disease, this specific thing, or they just had the technology to implement it a lot faster, which they, from the conversation I was having with my one friend, he had said like they had mentioned that they were using a new type of technology to help streamline the process of creating a vaccine. And again, whether that's 100% accurate or not, do your own research, look it up yourself.
Yes.
But don't take my word for it.
For sure.
But
yeah,
so that was their claim. But it's like I said, it's one of the two. It's either they knew about it ahead of time, or truthfully they did do that or use that new form of technology, which goes back to what we were just talking about, is like either they had the technology to, fake any of that information, or it legitimately happened.
There's sometimes the truth is in between.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, they could have both had the technology to do it without telling anyone of whatever it was, and then they maybe to deceive adversaries also looking to have that same technology, they would sprinkle in misinformation,
right? And
it's still going on to this day with what we're talking about.
Yeah. There's a I won't say it's a famous quote, but there's a quote that I really, really enjoy, and it goes, even there's a small amount of truth even in a joke. So like you make a joke about something, and there like the slightest amount of truth may be in it. So I could say like, well, I'm not gonna give an example, but I've thought about that concept for a while, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of true. There's truth to every joke to some degree.
Sometimes for a good joke to work, it's I've heard a comedian put it, the truth is exaggerated and twisted or perverted in a way that makes
it's true.
It shines some positive or light on it, and in a funny way.
Yeah. Speaking of comedian, there's a comedian that he made an interesting point, or like joke or whatever, but he was like, and I heard this joke through another person, but it was like, if aliens came down and were literally walking among us to observe who between pets and humans, who was the owner and who was the slave, quote unquote. Who do you think that they would choose?
They would think the cats and dogs are in charge.
Yeah, because they're literally picking up like their crap, and they're cleaning up their pee. They're walking them. They literally humans, obviously, because they want companionship, right? They will like do whatever it takes to take care of this particular animal, and the animal doesn't have to do a single thing.
No,
they just lay around and sleep all day. Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, like, oh, I got to take the dog to get groomed, and when like normally if you're rich and you have like the things that they show on TV and stuff like that, it's like, oh, if you're rich and you can have somebody drive you to wherever you're going, and like if somebody pays for your nails to get done or pays for your haircut to get done, you're getting like the spa treatment, right? And that's basically what dogs get. 90 dogs and cats get with 90% of the time. So I think that's like a very accurate representation of like looking outside in.
Yeah, they're looking outside in. They would see that. They would see just humanity being in a very precarious state.
Yeah.
They would be confused about what's going on.
Yeah.
As if it were a zoo.
For sure.
So,
well, actually, that's a very interesting concept there, like a zoo, right? Like you kind of isn't there a term for that?
It's and it relates to why we might not have seen non-human intelligences outside of the Earth.
Yeah,
it's the zoo hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
You're imagining some backwater planet like ours that's out in the middle of nowhere, and every now and then beings who are observing us, they just want to check every now and then to make, and they treat it as if we're inside the glass. And they're looking in and seeing what we're doing, but they have instruction to leave us well alone. That could very well be a hypothesis, if you want to call it that.
True. Aliens are almost too realistic now. It's like maybe like 10 years ago, if you were like, yeah, aliens exist, I'd be like, yeah, whatever, get out of my face.
It was a taboo subject. Now it's become more plausible.
It's the talk of the town. That's like majority of what people are talking about, at least not all the time, but comparing to a lot of other stuff, at least it's a very hot topic right now, at least in this past year. And like, our universe is expanding at an alarming rate. I mean, I don't know if you remember hearing that this was like a few years ago that they discovered that the universe is like, it was kind of always expanding, but like a quote unquote slow rate. Now it's at an exponential rate where it's literally going faster than like they had expected it to go.
Yeah, the what was it, the Big Bang, and then the rate of expansions, it's like you said, it's growing faster year over year.
Yeah. So to say that like that aliens don't exist now would be kind of like, I just feel like it's more likely that they do exist now with like a vast universe than not at all.
Yeah, it would be it would be terrifying to think that we're alone in the universe, or there are beings out there. Like I agree with you. I think it's the latter that's more likely.
Yeah.
And maybe it's only a matter of time. No.
Matter of time until Ben gets probed.
Oh.
But like, one of my friends, or well, not one of my friends, but one of my coworkers, he ended up like, he was talking about an experience that he had about an orb that would follow him, and he would just kind of like yell out to it and to acknowledge it. And like I remember he was saying that he was on his bike and he ended up like flying over top of the handlebars and landing on his back or something like that.
That's really close, by the way. Like he was riding.
Yeah, it was like just hovering like right above him,
a few feet.
Yeah,
that's insane.
So like he was telling me this. He was telling me the story, and like he even sent me his video of it. I have to see if I could find it at the end of this podcast. Well, I don't know if I would want to put it up because it's his own thing, but if I can find it, I'll definitely show you. You guys don't get to see it. Why? Because I like to hoard information.
Top secret.
Top secret classified information on the Leisure Hub podcast. But he had said that like it would follow him. I don't recall if he had said that he had like a different experience where he like he woke up somewhere, something like that. I don't know. I don't want to like project his story, but
I have a feeling I know what he might have experienced, but like there are reports of people who experience those close encounters of losing time.
Mm-hmm.
They lose out on time somehow in the order of hours or days when it may have only been minutes of so-called disappearances. Those are the real wild ones, and many people report them. Many people report anomalies like that. And there are so many reports nowadays that people are waking up more and more to those ideas. And there are so many that they can't be ignored. And that's why there's efforts to disclose what's going on today in a slow and controlled way.
I haven't myself experienced anything. Like I said, one of my coworkers said he experienced something. I had never experienced anything in my time, but I guess you could say that seeing is, like I said, seeing is believing. But how many more accounts do you think people need to have in order for the general consensus to be like, okay, they do exist? Because like, I think maybe even use it like a real world scenario, right? It's like, like I had this miracle happen, and people usually are skeptical of miracles. They're like, it's just like it's a coincidence. Like it didn't really happen, right? Or like it's just a fluke thing. But then there's like, you hear numerous accounts where doctors are like, there's no way somebody was supposed to make it out of surgery or supposed to survive, and like the odds of them surviving was like 0.0001%. And they end up surviving. They live like a healthy life. So, but people are like, that's just coincidence. You're telling me a very small percentage, a chance of somebody surviving something, and then they ended up making it surviving. Did you ever hear about that one guy that I think they call him, I'll have to pop it up on the screen, but there's a guy, he's like the most lucky unlucky man alive. Did you hear about this?
What happened to him?
So he ended up being in a bus accident where majority of the people died. He survived. He was in a plane accident. Somehow he survived.
Oh my God.
He was struck by lightning. He survived. Like, I have to find this because it is the pinnacle of, I don't think there's a single person that has had all of those elements, and he still gets on buses. And well, I mean, I don't know about now because I haven't heard anything about it, but he still gets on buses and he still gets on airplanes and stuff like that. And I'm like, if I fell out of an airplane, survived, and walked out of that like injured, but not to the point where like I'm paralyzed or something like that, I'm never flying again.
You're swearing off flying.
That is, I will be driving anywhere, or I'm not going anywhere at all.
It's the type of thing where some people are like, all right, I'm going to go on a hike in the woods. I'm not afraid of bears. I'm going to go swim in the ocean. I'm not afraid of sharks. I don't know. Some people, they do it out of necessity.
The ocean is one of those things that is the most bizarre places on this planet. Like, there's a lot of weird areas on Mother Earth, as some extraterrestrial beings would call it. But like, the ocean, how much of it has been explored? Like,
we've
only like 5%.
I think we've mapped the moon better than our own oceans.
Yeah,
it's just, we don't know about what's in the oceans.
That's scary to think about. I mean, let alone thinking like what else is in the universe. Like that, I guess those are the two equivalents, right?
Yeah.
The ocean is a smaller version of what space is, but we haven't even explored a fraction of what.
There's so much we don't know, and in terms of maybe other kinds of life out there than that are undocumented. There's, like we mentioned earlier, there's reports of lights in the ocean of various shapes. Some of them are there. it's gotten to the point where there's a
there's a dildo shaped one, right?
Oh, no, nothing would surprise me anymore.
Could you imagine?
There's just flying through the air. There's a whole taxonomy of different UAP now. This one non-government organization, Skywatchers.
Okay.
They are a group dedicated to classifying these sightings of phenomena. They have around 9 or so working classifications. Among them are there's you have orbs of light from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
There's triangles. There's even types of jellyfish that have been observed through the air.
Backtrack. Jellyfish.
There was a recent video declassified. I think it was over in Iraq, over a military base.
Sure.
Flew over, and it was in IR band, infrared sensory data. So the video shows this thing it looks like the engineers from the Covenant in Halo, if you remember them.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can describe them, but it was shown like just hovering close to the ground over the air. So jellyfish.
That's super strange.
That's one of them. Then there's one. Then maybe it's a good segue into the one I saw.
Yeah.
Of something that's it's kind of messed me up.
Yeah. Let's hear this story, Will.
Yeah,
Will. Why did that name pop in my head?
Ben Will.
Not even close. Sorry, guys. I have to make a clear. I have to be honest with you guys. I just met this young man here. I never knew him beforehand, so that's why I called him.
I was wearing a tinfoil hat off the street. Yeah. He scooped me up, and
we are not. You
didn't know your story, man.
We're not really friends. I honestly, he was a homeless man, and I dressed him today, so just for this episode. No,
thank you.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
that was strange. I don't know. Maybe they're tapping in.
Yeah, it's all good.
Maybe they're interfering with this.
I'm gonna get my story out one way or another. So here goes.
Sure.
With my own experience of seeing UAP, it was between 2016 to 2020 living at my parents'. And at the time I lived above the garage, and I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I don't have a bathroom up there, and sometimes the door is locked. I just walk out to the backyard and do my business.
And your parents walk out and you're like, why is there a whole bunch of raccoon crap laying in the backyard?
It's pretty big.
Is there a bear out here?
And so I walked to the back of the patio, and I see off into the northeast part of the sky this glowing triangle, and it's swaying gently like a leaf falling from a tree. And this maybe about a mile away, maybe a couple miles away, if that, and a few hundred feet in the sky, it's this glowing triangle, rainbow, plasma phasing, color changing, mother of pearl. Do you know what the mother of pearl effect is?
I've heard mother of pearl referenced in SpongeBob before, but that's about it. Mother of pearl.
Have you ever seen a puddle of oil on the ground?
Yeah.
And it's shining like a rainbow?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like that. And how the colors
just kind of
change,
like swaying, and
and it was almost amorphous. And so maybe about 20 seconds go by, and I'm watching this thing, and I'm gobsmacked.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's like one of the most insane things I've ever seen.
The word of the day, gobsmacked.
Yeah. And without another moment's hesitation, it accelerates at near faster than light speed off into space.
Right.
Like it just jettisons like a kite of light.
Yeah.
Moving through the sky, and I never see it again. And then there was no sound, which was so eerie. No sound emanating.
Was this during the summertime, or was this during like winter? Do you know what season it was?
I think it was during the warmer months.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, I haven't thought of life just hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
And I've been tormented to know what it was I saw.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like there's the natural order of things for humans or humanity is like, if there's something that's not understood, like you want to get down to the bottom of it. But this is one of those things where like you can go down the rabbit hole, but there's still no physical evidence of it existing. So you have to take your experience, other people's experiences, and the documentation, and kind of just like I know what I saw. Like, this is what it is. Like, obviously, like I can't just go and interact with these beings or this thing that I saw.
Phenomena,
right?
Yeah.
So you kind of just have to like live with that, and it's a weird kind of like a weird kind of feeling to have.
It's been hard to live with.
Yeah,
there's
like no closure to it, right?
No, and for a lot of people, it's a similar case. They don't have closure, and then you start connecting with the dots in order to try and live with it, and then you're just like, wow, life is stranger than fiction. That's the point where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And then to hear it, the timing was weird too. Then, a year or so afterward, you hear, then you start hearing Congress and people testifying, and those people testifying are now reputable witnesses to these events. I'm talking about government officials, airline pilots, military pilots are all encouraged to step forth. And the more you look at it, the more there is to uncover. And it has a lot of implications for the safety of people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why some people have stepped forth to talk about it? Take Dylan Borland. He was an airman, some kind of intelligence analyst, and he blew the whistle on what he saw,
right?
Of similar like craft in the sky, and then he wasn't sure if they were in danger, and he wanted to know if him and his fellow Americans were safe.
Right. I think so I was watching a video this morning it's like an 11-hour YouTube video of Congress like discussing this particular aircraft. And so before I like explain more of that, the video evidence that they have now is insane. Like that, especially that's leaking, or not leaking, but that they're finally disclosing online.
Declassified.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's the most promising thing that we have, because before that we just have people's accounts and like maybe like drawings, stories, and those are like you kind of brush them off, right? Most people who haven't experienced anything, they kind of just brush it off. Right?
I used to just kind of say, oh yeah, whatever. But now,
yeah, like the one thing I remember watching from or hearing from this 11-hour, like I didn't watch the 11-hour thing, I kind of scrubbed through it, but they were like saying like people's jobs, reputation, livelihood, were always at risk, because every time that they would speak on this specific subject, people like their jobs and reputations would be at stake because of those things. So like a lot of people would just not, like professionally, would not say anything about it, out of preservation for like themselves and their families and stuff like that,
their pensions.
Exactly. So it's like, well, they're like, well, because I mean, if you knew that you were gonna speak out on this and people weren't gonna believe you, and you would get fired, or like your reputation would be completely crushed because of it, why would you say anything at all?
In defense of their country and their fellow people. That's why they do it.
Yeah.
The person I mentioned earlier, Borland, his life was ruined after testifying.
Really?
He can't get a job.
How long ago was that?
It was I mean, I think it was in the past year. So he's he's now, I think, in the civilian world, or he's a really talented guy.
Dude, that's so messed up.
And so his life got turned upside down. Threats, you're talking about threats to silence them. And that's why he had to enter the public sphere to testify in Congress as a last resort.
Right.
So you had things like that going on. There have been people, I mean, it is a matter of safety and also wanting to know if the potential technology out there can better humanity.
Yeah.
I'll get into that second part later, but for the first, in terms of safety, I think people should know. There was a story of Jake Barber. He was a contractor in the military, now part of the group Skywatchers.
Okay.
That I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
He was on a crash retrieval team and piloted helicopters. His real job title was obscured by different job titles to conceal what's going on. And long story short, he got sick after a crash retrieval. Have you ever heard of Havana syndrome?
No.
It is thought to be
what is it again?
Havana syndrome.
Havana syndrome. Okay.
And I forget where it originates from. It's Havana. But he was irradiated and sick from it, and he lost all of his hair. Wow. And he came forth and told his story about retrieving this egg-shaped craft with a helicopter. And so that alone, that implication, people deserve to know what threats are out there if we don't know about them. And in the name of national defense, people are starting to get hurt and get their lives upended. Yeah,
and people are asking more questions because like I said at the very beginning of this podcast, it's like, now why all of a sudden that is the government acknowledging it now? Like it just seems a little too convenient that it's like, now you're acknowledging it, now you want to address it
after years of potential misinformation or lying, covering up. Why now? It's because people like you and me I think it's up to the people to put in that effort. Yeah. And there have been recordings of evidence, and it's getting hard to ignore.
Yeah. I think, have you heard of one of the most recent sightings, which is off the coast of Yemen? It happened
yes,
October 30th, 2024.
I know
an MQ-9 Hellfire missile fired at this aircraft, and it bounces off of the aircraft.
It was an orb. Yeah, an orb got hit. The orb recoils to like a few feet, and then the missile bounces off.
Yeah.
That was a declassified video. And it's just like you see a couple of bits get
there's like three things kind of floating around like the back of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That video is wild. Your show notes are going to be insane, by the way.
100. Like it's just going to be all like classified, like blacked out text. Like you said that there are orbs and like jellyfish and stuff like that. Are those like the main things that you would like if you're specifically trying to find these things or look out for them? Like I'm assuming those are like the main characteristics, or are there additional characteristics that you're looking for?
Yeah, it's like what percentage are the majority of what could you expect to see?
Yeah,
it's the ones I've seen the most are, you're gonna hear a lot about black triangles. There's a craft, for better or for worse, the internet's dubbed it TR3B. It's a whole other rabbit hole to go down.
TR3BD?
TR3B.
TR3.
Tactical Reconnaissance 3B, something or other. Could have been reverse engineered from crash retrievals, and those are known as alien reproduction vehicles, and it's a well documented in certain black budget programs.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're gonna probably see the most of black triangles, orbs, and then there's Tic Tacs, like cigar shaped.
I'm telling you,
UFOs.
the dildo shaped one. It's practical. It can happen.
So, and that's a good lead into the Tic Tac video. You've seen that one?
I don't think so. No.
Off the coast of San Diego in the Pacific in 2004, footage of a 2004 infrared recording by a jet pilot. Commander David Fravor was trying. They scrambled jets off of this carrier, and they tried to keep up with this Tic Tac craft. It was hovering below or right above the ocean, like a few 100 feet or so.
Sure.
As the jets approached it, this thing accelerated instantly and was doing these motions and just toying with the craft. And they were like, "Oh my God, like what is this thing?"
Like zigzags and like things that the technology that we have. Like if you're looking at like physics, like there's no way that something can move like that.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And this footage entered into the congressional record. And these people, that pilot also testified in Congress about what he saw. And so that's kind of that video, it's called the Go Fast video, is what blew up this whole subject wide open.
Who's this, Sonic right now? Gotta go fast.
yeah, people have dubbed it the Go Fast video.
That's fine.
And it was a cigar shaped Tic Tac, white, plain white. And I think there were two of them actually. Yeah. And they were observable. There's 5 observables. I have them handy. I'll try and remember them off the top of my head.
No.
So if you're...
Don't do it. I want you to read off of your postcard. No. I'm kidding. Don't do it. Don't.
I got to get it right. Okay. He
came very prepared today.
There's 5 observables of UAP. So you have sudden acceleration, hypersonic velocity, low observability, transmedium travel, and defying gravity.
Yeah.
And you're in each one of those is, so take defying gravity, which is what the Tic Tac was doing. It wasn't airplane shaped, and it's it doesn't match any profile of airframes known to the common domain. And it was low observability because it was on infrared. Maybe it was invisible light too, but oftentimes they're not.
Have you watched the movie Nope?
Yeah.
What did you think of that movie?
Well, I watched clips of it, and I'm like, it's so out there. That is out there. It's horror. I think that was it was a horror film, right?
Yeah, it was a horror film made by Jordan Peele. From a Rotten Tomatoes perspective, and then also from like a critic's perspective, it wasn't his best movie. But a lot of the things, a lot of times he does like not subliminal messages, but he has deeper meanings in his movies. Another one. Have you heard of? I mentioned this on another podcast episode when I was talking about like movies and stuff like that. Have you heard of? I think it's called No One Will Save You.
Not that one.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, No One Will Save You. So I'll show you. I'll pop it up on screen. But it looks like this. I think you'll like the concept of the thumbnail.
Oh, it looks like a house. Of course, it's out in the middle of the country.
Yeah. So that movie, I remember watching it. Do you remember Bird Box and like A Quiet Place, like those style of movies?
I remember A Quiet Place.
Yeah. So this movie is very similar in style, like how it's shot and directed. It's very similar to those, but this one specifically is about like this girl being abducted by aliens and stuff like that. Which I don't know if you're into like alien movies or not. Like, but there's not many of those. There's not many movies.
There's not many. There's a lot of reasons. Aliens are hard to do on screen, like in a live action movie. But was that one of the good, like better alien movies?
It's better. But like with Nope, there's more messaging behind it. Like, do you remember Do you remember the one woman with like a veil over her face? It was a black veil, and it looked like she was kind of like an alien or whatever.
No, the extent of what I've seen, and spoiler alert if you're watching that, but it was like people getting swallowed or eaten.
What are you watching, Ben? That was not. No, I'm kidding. I don't remember the movie. I don't remember that part.
Weren't they? Wasn't the whole thing like this entity or plasmoid thing like from the sky?
Oh yeah. You're right.
And there was like sucking people up.
Yeah, it would suck up like a house, and like there was also this like eerie sound that it would make, or like it would interfere with a lot of like electronics. Is that common? Like actually, like in like the whole UFP alien sightings, I feel like I've heard it in movies and in like TV shows, and people making slight comments to it, but like they mentioned that electronics are usually disrupted because of it, right?
Yeah, it's said to tamper with a lot of electronics. In the Dylan Borland story, he was on I think they're out on an airstrip somewhere, and a few hundred, it was like 50 to 100 feet overhead, he was watching this black triangle just hover in place, and then he said his phone got really hot and it shut off. I think things like that happen a lot, like electronics get tampered with. Might explain why all the videos are so grainy.
Yeah, that's
that you
true.
watch. But no, yeah, there's maybe EMP effects coming from whatever they are.
Yeah, I just feel like with AI, it makes it, if things weren't muddied as it is now, with AI, it's already gonna be more of a difficult time to discern between like reality and fiction, because like, I mean, maybe like 5 years ago, if you said that AI created like an alien video, you're like, probably not, because it's not as good as it is now. Like the people, like the videos that they make now are insane. Have you seen any of the Instagram personas of like AI pretending to be like an influencer?
Yeah, they're celebrities, and someone, it's like a bot just being a persona, and getting money and monetization.
Like it's weird because like that, I saw a video of it the other day, and this guy was like saying like, he was, it was like a little cutout of himself, and then obviously in the background, and then it cut to like this woman speaking, but it was just AI. And people make these AIs to profit, obviously, because why else would they make it? Not for the betterment of humanity, but they do for profiting.
AI slop.
Yeah, 100%. And I remember watching it, and it's like we're approaching this uncanny valley type of place with AI, but it's like I could still tell that it was like, there's something about it that I could just tell that it wasn't human, like it's some portion of it. But I feel like if people were going to fake alien videos, I think now would be like the better time to do it. Don't do it. I'm just saying.
No, it's not helping. Yeah, it's not helping my cause here. So yeah, you're right. It's gonna take a lot of. We're gonna have to come up with new methods to discern what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
That's plain. So we're gonna have to counteract what it is that separate genuine things from bad actors.
Yeah. Like, do you trust the government and scientists in general?
No. Short answer, no.
No, not at all.
I don't. I really do think it's up to the common man to take the reins on it.
I just feel like there's so much that they don't disclose. I feel like there's so much that they purposely, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of skepticism on my end from government deciding to randomly say it now and be more open about it recently. And scientists, yeah, they're way smarter than I am, but they're also controlled heavily by the government. So it's like,
imagine the opposite thing happening. It's called catastrophic disclosure.
Yeah.
Of whatever it is. It's basically, what if one day aliens just landed down and people will lose their minds.
Oh, 100%. Everybody, mass hysteria.
It would cause mass hysteria, confusion, huge shock to the overall stability and economic, things would go upside down overnight. And instead I think what is happening is a soft disclosure. I think they're priming people up to ease into these ideas better. Take not only your congressional hearings now. They have a public setting and they can only talk about so much. In that 11-hour video, you don't happen to know who the speakers were. No. It's okay if you don't.
If I can easily find it for you now, but if you
it's okay.
Keep talking.
Yeah, in those hearings, you often hear they get asked a question and they say I can't answer it, or they say I have to answer that in a SCIF.
Mm-hmm.
SCIF is a box that's basically electronics proof, and there you can't bring a phone in, and then those settings is where they divulge more information that's considered classified.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, and nothing can penetrate that box. It's almost like an RFID.
Yeah.
Like on your wallets and phones and stuff like that. Interesting. So the video that I was specifically watching was from CBS News on YouTube. It's like this particular one is only an hour, but there's one that's like 11 hours. It's a House Oversight Committee task force held a hearing on Tuesday about transparency issues within the federal government regarding unidentified anomalous phenomena, commonly known as UAP or UFOs. But there's the Air Force veteran Dylan Borland.
That's who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Navy Senior Chief Petty Officer Alexandro Wiggins.
Yeah, Chief Wiggins. Yep. I've seen this one.
And there's a couple other people.
There's a whole bunch of scientists. There's is George Knapp in there?
Yeah, maybe. There's the show notes on, or the timestamp. There's like so many points on here.
If you're wanting to tug on more strings, George Knapp is a journalist, studies them.
He's in here too. Yeah. Joe Spielberg. I don't know if that name rings a bell.
But I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, there's a bunch of people just there's going to be more people who testify year after year. Keep a lookout for it.
The Economic Times. It's literally the title of this video. I'll pop it up here too. Not the video, but it's "What the hell is that? Never before seen UFO video stuns U.S. House panel at Fury hearing."
There was an act written in 2023, the UAP Disclosure Act.
No,
and I don't think it passed.
I wonder why. It seems very sus.
If that gives you any idea of how much of an issue it is, I mean, so it's on our doorstep.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think that aliens are the one? I don't even, like I said earlier too, I don't know if aliens are considered a conspiracy at this point. Maybe like them hiding the information is a conspiracy, but them extraterrestrial beings themselves are not maybe counted as conspiracies, but they are the one conspiracy that sticks around compared to Bigfoot, JFK assassination, Loch Ness Monster, that kind of stuff. It seems like the whole alien concept is the thing that keeps popping back up.
It might be because there's grains of truth to it versus the other fairy tales. I think that's why it persists.
Yeah. But isn't there some theory that Bigfoot is a part of that whole thing?
Yes. No, yeah. Some Bigfoot enthusiasts and Sasquatch believers, I'm like,
that's too far for me.
I think that's too much for me. But no, it's said people say they've seen the Sasquatch and peek out from behind a tree, and like grab something on their belt, and like they just like teleport into a ball of light and float away. It's so out there. But yeah, so it's all connected, Justin.
Yeah.
Orbs and Sasquatch.
You're like, what kind of shrooms are these guys on? It's like, what, you know, like I can believe the black triangles with like, you know, morphing like structure. But I've also noticed a lot of these videos are always shot in like infrared or whatever, or black and white.
Different sensory apparatus.
Yeah.
It's might be the only way you can detect them.
Yeah.
So we need to buy night vision goggles.
And we're gonna go outside.
Thermal
tonight.
Cameras, Justin. We're gonna go snipe hunting.
We're gonna go snipe hunting. And then, have you heard of the fourth dimension?
With time? You got your 3.
Yeah.
Up, down, left, right.
Yeah.
And then fourth dimension, time. What about it?
Well, so like there's obviously different spectrums that the human eye can even see of light, right? Like there's infrared that we clearly can't see, and there's like that's why you have a black light for different things, because you can't see some of that stuff. So the thought process behind that is like they're potentially hiding in a separate dimension, just observing as that.
It's a far-fetched one. You're referring to ultra-terrestrial beings, and those are said there. This is again, that's another one I keep at arm's length. One of the more crazier things people will hear, and they're beings from other dimensions, parallel worlds, universe, wherever. They're not of this plane of existence. And so I mean, that comes up a lot too. That theory gets thrown around quite a bit.
I mean, I wouldn't say believer in it, but I would say the theory is interesting to me. Is it's like the multiverse whole perspective, and like obviously the idea behind that is that in our current state of being right now, I am the way that I am, and you are the way that you are, right? We've had our own paths of that led us to who we are right now. But theoretically, had you made a different choice, instead of going to Shippensburg University, you went to Millersville University, the person that you would be now would be a different version of yourself, and so on and so on. Every choice is like a branch of its own thing, right? So like an alternate reality would be that you went to Millersville and maybe you met different friends and you hang out with them, or different reality is that you're a bus driver, and so on. There's like so many different realities, and so like that's when I'm like, well, if that it is like, I don't know what that theory there's like an actual appropriate theory for that, but there's like a multiverse theory.
No, I think you're on the right. That sounds. Yeah.
There's another, and I'm going to relate this back into like our topic, but there's another thing. It's like, I don't know, I forget what the actual science term is, but it's like the cat in the box.
Schrodinger's cat.
Yes.
Is it alive or dead? You don't know until you observe it.
Yes. And it's like while there's 2 states. So you mentioned alive and dead, but there's actually a third state. It's like, it's unknown or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's where you just don't know. And
that's the whole principle of what quantum technology is founded upon.
Yeah. And it's like the cat, you put a cat in the box, and it's like visibly you know that there's a cat in the box. But once you close the box, that truth is no longer valid. Like the cat could be in the box, it could not. But it also, or is it dead, or is it alive, or is it neither? I mean, or is there no cat in the box to begin with? And so like relating that back to the whole like fourth dimension thing is that there are multiple pockets of dimensions that we clearly can't access, and like there's 2D and 3D as well, and there's 4D that we also can't perceive with our own visible eyes. We have to, with 3D we have to wear glasses in order to see that. So 4D we can't even like access that. I don't know if it goes but
beyond that, and it's like the nth dimension. It gets insane, and you almost wonder, people wonder as if there are other dimensions, if could those phenomena exist in some state we're not able to see? It's almost, here's an analogy. What if you're trying to see something, you and I see clear each other as day, but if you were in a pool and I looked into the pool of water, the image of you would be really distorted. What if that's the same way with higher dimensions of what we can't observe?
Right.
We just are those potential projections of non-human intelligences to us what we're seeing. Sometimes people think that might be somewhere in between what they're seeing in their head, conscious wise, versus the physical world. And that's kind of what I think of in trying to relate it to other dimensions. It's hard to explain.
I mean, it's all very like, I mean, you get to like physics part, you get to like a more of like a, I don't know, like a broad perspective of it, and then it's like I don't even know what I believe in anymore.
I know
I just know that
gotta start looking up.
Yeah,
that's all. If you take one thing away from this episode, just start looking up.
Yeah. So like a lot of these aircrafts like will dart like across, and I guess what's one thing that you would hope to get out of interacting with them, like as a species? What would be one thing that you would hope to gain out of interacting with them?
I would hope to gain the peaceful use of the technology, and that it would literally solve all the world's problems.
Yeah.
For something to travel instantaneously like that could carry potential payloads and deliver food and water all over the world. That's what I want. By the way, my background's in logistics,
right.
And that's kind of what I think about. I'm like, how can you expand access of such things to help humanity? That's what I would hope to gain from it, rather than using those things as weapons. It's sometimes, or not sometimes, but those craft, some of them might have nuclear capability, and that could be a reason why they're not brought up and revealed to the general public, is because that's highly illegal,
right,
to have such craft be nuclear powered. So it's a dangerous thing, but that's the one thing. I would want to know if there's a peaceful way to use the tech, and that it doesn't, even the act of using it, I would want to know that it doesn't endanger people. Maybe there is a really good reason why, but that's the one thing. What about you?
The theory, well, so I wanted to like mention like a quick thing with that is like moving at that speed to get from one place to another is just, it's like the speed of light is unattainable. Like, because if that's the case, the theory behind traveling at the speed of light would essentially mean teleportation, right? Like you could teleport from one area to another area.
Yeah.
And in order, like, if a human was put in that scenario of moving because I mean the theory behind it is like you move one atom to another place very quickly, because an atom can do that. But you take a whole human being, a composition of atoms, and then you transport that quickly. Usually, it doesn't bode well for the human.
No, the human turns into paste,
like a nice gelatinous paste. So like I just don't see how there would have to be some type of technology that would protect you from that happening, or either that or the extraterrestrial beings aren't affected by that at all.
I can offer up something for you.
Yeah.
I wish I had a physics degree, but I'll do my best.
I don't have one either.
The short answer is I think we're gonna have to rewrite physics books if and when we learn about whatever's going on. Of some of the craft are said to propel, and it's been theoretically proven. The Albuquerque Drive.
He's like, got to make sure this is right.
Take a piece of paper. Okay. Here's our plane of existence. I'm trying to get from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. I think what that says is you can bend space and time in such a way where you can shorten the distance to travel.
Okay.
By doing that, so you go to A to B just like that. That's kind of like what the craft are. They said, again, this is all like my understanding.
Sure.
The craft, there's something happening in front and something happening in back of the craft that allow for this to happen. And you can think of it as being like a warp bubble around the craft in such a way where it's like it's contracting space in front of it and then expanding space behind it. Mm-hmm. I wish I had a picture to show this, but that's the general gist of what make it possible. And then inside the craft is a general there. I think there's little to no inertia or force felt upon the occupants piloting the craft, and that's why they don't turn into jello.
A nice little gelatinous paste
to help me.
I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning of at the start of the podcast, but I did say, or typically I say that the outline that I give you is different than the outline that I have. And in the beginning of the outline, or in the beginning of the podcast episode, I asked you like an intro question, but now there's a little special segment at the very end, which is cue the music, a little hot take. So give us your best hot take on UFPs or extraterrestrial beings, or something along the lines of like a hot take word being that, you know, something that people wouldn't typically agree on.
No, there.
In that
so, yeah, my hot take is shadow dimension aliens.
Yeah.
Miami, Florida, of New Year's, I think now 2 years ago. There was a overwhelming police presence. Hundreds of police cruisers lined up outside this Miami mall of reports of kids setting off fireworks. Just a group of kids. And then it comes out there are these shadow beings in the mall phasing in and out of existence that are 8 feet tall. And I think people were shooting at them. I don't know.
Yeah.
We may never know to this day. It's insane. You'd be lucky to get police to help with a report of something going on down in Miami. Mm-hmm. So to see that many police is insane. And I think there are things we don't know that went on that day that will never come to light, even after people's phones were taken away after the event and people changing their stories of what they saw. It's another rabbit hole to dive down, but hot take is maybe they're already among us.
I think they already are. You're like, you know what? Chew on that. Wrap the podcast up. We're done. No, but that's a good take. I don't know anything about that, so I'm definitely gonna look that up, and I'm gonna make sure that people. I'll put like a little screenshot up and you said that was 1980s, right?
No, I think it was 2024, like 2 years ago. It was in the news.
Really?
This was in the news.
Where the hell was I?
It was around New Year's.
Yeah. Wow.
Or maybe 2023, but it was insane.
Jeez, where the hell was I? I must have been like sleeping or something.
The footage to look for is a guy filming from a condo. So he's filming from up above, down at the street.
That's interesting that they were taking people's phones away though. That's so. If there was nothing to hide or something weird wasn't happening, then keep your phone. But then,
shady.
Yeah, it is very sus.
A lot more questions than answers.
It's a lot more. It's a lot sus. Yeah. It's very sus. Not a lot more sus, but it's very sus. And you know what else is sus? The podcast. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on another episode of the Leisure Hub podcast. I've been your host. Thank you, Benjamin, for joining me on this adventure, this exotic
adventure. Thank you, Justin.
Of course. You can take your tinfoil hat off. Nothing's gonna scramble your brains like eggs. That's not your tinfoil hat.
No, it's my tinfoil hat's in my car.
You got so excited you took the headphones off before the podcast was even over.
Oh, I thought you did the outro.
No, but now I would say we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Oh. Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Feel like that went over better this time?
That went way better.
Yeah.
Though it's not an easy subject